Human centricity for outcomes and processes. You understand that AI will have, by definition, when you say AI is an autonomous system, there's just about that is removed from humans. What we're saying now is that if it's not just about the values that inform the AI system, it could also be that literally human will come in, and we'll take that up later. No, so values informing the development of AI, at the core or the foundation of AI. Now, whether it's an intelligent network, radio network, or some other systems, no, it's also about serving human purposes. And this may seem obvious to some of us, but remember the possibility that AI gets to acquire relative autonomy. And there is very strong prospect that AI can rewrite its own code. So you put in a system, you put a box, and you coded it. But then supposedly it's hardwired not to change its code. But if AI becomes really powerful, it should be allowed to write its own code. Now, how much of its code can be rewritten? How much of it cannot be rewritten at all? No, because if AI had to be adaptive, it will have to introduce new codes. You understand? But what if the new codes introduced would change fundamentally the very nature of that AI system? So, saying that AI solutions should be human-centered is easier said than done, especially moving into the future. No? So, improvement of HR processes, we are going through some exercises at one point or another. Augmentation tools for human resource assessment. How do you assess productivity if there are many more metrics to consider? No? You would probably be needing an AI for that as well. No? This is what I've been saying all along, that autonomous systems or functions is to some degree out of human control. Kaya nga, auto means self-regulation, self-governing, autonomy, you know. So if you have that machine that is autonomous, how can you say that you have human control? You know, when it's running, even in your sleep, you know, that's one consideration. Human involvement needs some qualifications, therefore, because of what I said. High-risk applications of AI would especially need humans in the loop. And that is especially recommended for highly risky systems, for high-risk systems. It's okay. It's one thing to have AI running in a factory when there are no people. It's another thing to have AI running in the streets. And right now, the problem of AI for at least autonomous cars is object permanence. So magkatabi yung dalawang kotse, may sunod dito na AI, wala na siyang full view dyan, may tao dito na nawala sa mata o sa consciousness ng AI, nawala yung tao. But humans know that hindi naman siya nawala. It's possible na nag-cross sa street. That's where accidents happen, because AI, having an object permanence problem, will just go straight, thereby hitting the human being who crossed the street, the child. Understand? So you need humans in the loop. So even if you have an autonomous driving car, in these situations where AI parameters tell you that it's potentially confusing to humans to drive in that complex scenario, the control should automatically be ceded to humans and not allow the car to proceed because it's very risky. No? So if you've ridden a Tesla, you'll probably understand this. No? So in Amsterdam, I rode a Tesla, and the driver beside me is having lunch. So he was basically useless in that situation. No, he was not doing driving at all. He was just having this conversation with me, eating his lunch, and I allowed it because Netherlands. Anyway, but probably maybe not so much when you're in the city center. You will probably need humans in the loop. So, New Zealand is leading this, against killer robots. Interestingly, France, US, Britain, China, Russia is not adhering to this. Manipulative and exploitative practices. Maybe social media is guilty of this. Maybe you should have a law prohibiting that kind of practice. In AI, in social media tends to amplify hate and not so much amplification of good thoughts. So kung magpapa-good vibes ka sa Facebook mo versus you spread hate, if you run an experiment like that, I'm pretty sure that the hateful posting will get more reaction than your good vibes. As a matter of fact, nakukornihan ako sa mga good vibes. So, mayroon ka naman sigurong Viber or Messenger group. Pag may mga kaklase ka na nagpo-post ng mga prayer, ng mga... Okay lang yan sa simula. After a while, sobrang corny na yung mga sinasabi nila. But if you can see postings of hate, they will be amplified. Why? The algorithm says so. Now, it can be used for manipulation, like in elections, for instance, certain outcomes, certain image, certain reputation you need to repair. Okay, that somehow si Apo was a hero, then you'll have a different algorithm. I mean, you have a mechanism for that. Indiscriminate surveillance, that is probably going to be a contentious issue when you contrast London surveillance, because there is just so much density for surveillance cameras in London versus surveillance in, say, Beijing or Shanghai for different purposes. So, but I mean, for the same, fundamentally the same purposes, but the people running the surveillance would be different. Social scoring, this is your basically Xi Jinping China, where social scoring is in effect. So if you're a bad citizen, you don't get to travel to other parts of the world because you're bad for China. Social scoring, you get to be scored by your own demeanors. If you're seen as throwing garbage in the street, your social score is going to come down. Why is that bad? You ask yourself. Maybe in the discussion we'll take that out. But that's one of the prohibited uses of AI, at least in the European context. Manipulation, indiscriminate surveillance, social scoring, as I said, discussion about that is pretty much in the fore of European AI. And the idea is that it violates human rights. It's possible that you could be unjustly discriminated against,